A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant shift in policy, President Donald Trump is reportedly contemplating the authorization of new military funding for Ukraine, marking the first time since he assumed office in January. Multiple diplomatic sources have indicated that this funding could serve as a strategic message to Russia, which has recently intensified its drone and missile assaults on Ukrainian cities. This week, Ukraine experienced what it described as the largest drone attack since the onset of Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, with Kyiv and other urban areas bearing the brunt of these aerial assaults. Earlier this week, Trump hinted at the possibility of sending additional defensive weapons to Ukraine. This comes shortly after his administration temporarily paused some arms shipments, a move characterized by a White House official as part of a broader global review of weapons transfers. The specifics regarding the source of the potential new funding remain unclear, but U.S. officials have disclosed that Trump has access to $3.85 billion in leftover Biden-era presidential drawdown authority, which could be allocated to send American military equipment to Ukraine. Additionally, former officials have noted that the president possesses the authority to seize around $5 billion in foreign Russian assets and direct these funds to Ukraine, although neither he nor former President Joe Biden has exercised this power thus far. The U.S. has provided tens of billions of dollars in military aid to Ukraine since the beginning of 2022. Despite this, Trump has previously criticized such spending, advocating for Ukraine and Russia to negotiate a peace agreement, while occasionally expressing frustration towards both nations. In recent days, Trump's focus has shifted more towards Russia, as he expressed disappointment following a call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. He stated, "Putin is not treating human beings right. He's killing too many people," emphasizing that he has approved the sending of defensive weapons to Ukraine. While Trump has been critical of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the past, even accusing him of prolonging the war, he has also urged European countries to shoulder a larger share of the responsibility in supporting Ukraine. NATO officials have confirmed that they are collaborating with member states to urgently facilitate the transfer of U.S.-made ammunition and air defense systems to Ukraine. However, they have refrained from disclosing whether any new mechanisms have been established for this purpose. In a recent conversation with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Trump discussed the potential for European partners to purchase U.S.-made military equipment for Ukraine. Traditionally, NATO as an institution has not directly armed non-member state Ukraine, with individual member nations independently deciding to assist. However, Trump suggested that NATO could acquire weapons from the U.S. to be transferred to Ukraine, indicating a notable policy shift. "We're sending weapons to NATO, and NATO is paying for those weapons 100%, Trump stated during an interview with NBC News. When questioned about the NATO plan, Secretary of State Marco Rubio refrained from detailing any new mechanisms and instead referred to the existing plans for European nations to procure weapons. He noted that certain systems required by Ukraine are not manufactured in Europe, necessitating purchases from the United States. As the conflict in Ukraine continues to escalate, the international community is closely watching the developments surrounding U.S. military aid. The potential new funding package, which could amount to hundreds of millions of dollars, reflects the internal divisions within the Trump administration regarding assistance to Ukraine, as the war against Russia drags on into its third year. Senior Republican lawmakers have been advocating for a new weapons package, underlining the complexities of the situation and the varying perspectives on how best to support Ukraine in its fight against Russian aggression. As the situation evolves, it remains to be seen how Trump will navigate these challenges and what impact his decisions will have on the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and U.S. relations with both Russia and NATO allies. CBS News has reached out to the White House for further comments, but no official response has been provided at this time. The coming days are likely to be crucial as the administration weighs its options and considers the implications of renewed military support for Ukraine in the face of increased hostilities from Russia. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.